Our akal al sakamit mental powers are in fact that kamam nous blackness is one, only with light do you see tafruk separation of things, and that is also persons too. As you see Babel chaos or light, a form of ether as the sun's light or rays of energy arrives or reaches the Makwak Taha planet Earth in the form of sunshine particles of energy of ether, natural. Then the same reflects Nawar light on the Maya moon, unnatural, direct to adverse indirect. Natural ether universal ether is reason, by that I mean has a reason for all things done, doing, and therefore is efficacious, that is able to do anything possible that can be done and do it in the most perfect manner. As you are supposing to be as children of Pa Najar you the overseers. Basically and scientifically there are two major kinds of natural ether, universal ether namely Tasu Akak 9 ether and Satu Akak 6 ether. There are others in between, but these two are the major 9 blackness, 6 lightness. The main domain of 9 ether is from above, not bomb on earth. The main domain of 6 ether is from below, lay Duda born on earth. 9 ether charges natural matter for better standards, values and qualities in natural nature. By the same deductions yet reverse principles, the main domain of 6 ether is as below does change matter for the worse as it does the planet, all nature, living things, and persons. 6 ether and 9 ether as Pa Kakasu the Caucasoids and Pa Najar you the overseers are natural opposites in nature. 6 is 9 and reverse as the digits themselves. 6 is physical sex, 9 is mental sex, lust is 6, love is 9. Munwapu Nuwapian's reiteration is memory, a drill for the brain is affected by 6 and 9. Scientifically and basically, there are two Nawa'id kinds of universal ether, namely 9 ether and 6 ether too. In this case 9 ether is also called Kafiish positive ether and Tarda dominion of positive ether is above, highest. And also in this case, 6 ether is also called negative ether and the dominion of negative ether is below, lowest. Both Nachuk speaking in their very natures. 9 ether the positive controls and supports the Hayumukwanyu living beings, good. 6 ether the Nafiish negative controls and supports the dead beings, ghost, specters, orbs, ghouls, evil. A living being is indeed scientifically mayuta dead when its life-giving chemicals are not sufficient enough to maintain the positive standards, qualities and values of nature. The first is respect and getting along with each other, nature, and to protect the being from physical death continuously as in the case of scientific life. So Tasu Akak 9 ether is the life of the scientifically living from soul or omniverse to spirit or dual verse onto body or universe. And Satu Akak 6 ether is the life and death of the scientifically dead from spirit or dual verse onto body or universe only. Once 6 ether body dies it turns blue-black and its spirit becomes an orb of dim semi-seen energy. Most are trapped on this dimensional level because of their attachment to the Katat al-Tapal physical world and their desires to control all others. The results are their dodge evil actions rendering them low lives. 9 ether and etheric beings and their offspring are such because they follow the rules of natural nature and order in all they do. Eat, live, they cooperate with others in the natural rules of cooperation. They are cooperative in all things. Satu Akak 6 ether and etheric beings of 6 ether and their offspring are such because they do not follow the rules of natural nature and order, making them unnatural and out of order by nature. They refuse to cooperate with others in the natural rules of cooperation and they are not cooperative in all things. To see what this means you only have to see their way of life and living, such as they induce false pregnancy just to give Lajud birth, so that is unnatural. They must intake lots of caffeine for Katat al physical stimulation to start the body each morning, that is unnatural. They must intake lots of alcohols to stimulate them before they can enjoy others or socialize, which most often results in adverse actions of violence and accidents, that is unnatural. They must take in all kinds of medications, drugs, which is unnatural. They must live on the edge, tempt fate by doing all kinds of dangerous things for adrenaline rush or they can't feel, that is unnatural. They love the sight of violence, fights, wars, contests, challenges, gambling, anything to stimulate them to share or feel, that is unnatural. Lovemaking is not enough for them, they need lusts, perversions, bestiality, sexual degradations, prostitution, pedophiliaism, pornography and all kinds of unnatural sex acts, Wei Juba found in his holy books. He makes all kinds of cinemas, plays of sex and violence, nudity of women. Unnatural is to present your own females to the world on display. Unnatural is what he calls new music, which is not music at all, it's heavy metal, hard rock and others is unnatural sounds. Their body alterations, implants, skin coloring, fur dyeing, all averse to natural nature or how nature made them. Look at how they subject other Hawanyu animals for their use or entertainments and slaughter, hunt for pleasure, unnatural activity by their very nature. That is 6 ether beings, a race of diseased in body and mind living under many renowned names, mixing with others to take over their lives, obsessed with ghosts, monsters, beasts, with killing and death. And all this is found in their holy books given to them by their overlords and lords Enki and Enlil and their offspring in their conflict for rule of this planet and all who reside on it. One says do this, the other says don't, and you in their religions live confused or Babel end by these 2 brothers, sons of Anu, who is called the Most High. Each says worship only me as the one true deity, God, Lord, have no others besides me because I'm jealous or I will, once you're dead in flesh, take your spirit into damnation, Manrar hell's fire and bum you. All this is the workings of unnatural 6 ether beings at work for your very soul, your Zalak essence and innocence. They seek to transform you into them soulless beings with spirit, yet no soul. They seek to cut you off from your roots, your source, your ancestors and replace with their own as prophets, angels, saints, messengers, messiahs, saviors, God, Lord, Christ, all from their history books called holy books. A 6,000-year history from a made man, a ruddy blush, pink, reddish man who they called Adam and his sons and daughters who were later cursed with leprosy. They mixed and spread the world over by way of their religions from one called Ibruam then Abram, then Abraham, then Ibrahim. He gave them his family, the Chaldean of Persia his own religion and gods. In their own tongue the names changed yet the rituals of blood sacrifice and offerings, obligations to their dead relatives as God, the worship of the sacred fire, their flesh was burnt in as the light of God. All their gods become one God or Elohim became El, Baalim became Baal and then called Yahweh, Adonai from El Shaddai to Ash-Shadiat and from Alihat to Allah onto Ilah, Rab. The same beings or Anunnaki, Anakim. Elohim, Alihat, the old ones, the first ones, they came to them from Pleiades star system. None other than from heaven above as Muziad Mutatalu extraterrestrials. Who came down to earth as you can read in their holy books, who said Qadul kill for us or we will Qadul kill you. Take others land to raise flock for us or we will kill you. Kill other Shabbat you tribes of people who we did not choose or we will kill you. Obey us, who will send one for you to worship of us or we will bum you in Manrar hell's fire. That is, cook you to be eaten as we do animals. Also recorded in their religious holy books again and again see how their gods, ask them Hebrews on to Muslims to kill as in the test of Cain and Abel. In order to offer Bashar human flesh and damn blood which resulted in the first murder of their holy book the Bible. All you have to do is tailor read with an open mind, remove the Zamus religious blinders of faith and read the Hakak al-Hakak at actual facts. The deity of their holy books put enmity, hate between people Genesis 3:15. He or they made that enmity or wrath in Cain Genesis 4:5 the same word kara anger, furious, vexation, what kind of merciful gods, is this? Flesh Eater Book of Enoch 7:1-14, Flesh Eaters Revelation 19:16-18 taught the Hebrews to eat Bashar human flesh 2 Kings 6:28-29 as they did in Leviticus 26:29, Deuteronomy 28:53-57, Lamentations 2:20, 4:10 and Jeremiah 19:9. All the offerings and sacrifices in their holy books right down to the Holy Quran of the Arabs who descend from Abraham as Ibrahim, also lived by the same religious laws and rule Quran 2:130-136. Because most are under a Hajj hypnotic spell. They have been made to forget the past rites and rituals. You ask why your God, Allah, Yahweh, ask you to slaughter animals on altars. In Leviticus chapters 1-13 and in Quran 148 verse 3 they don't remember that is why in their holy books they are called Enesites. A word that means forgetful in Hebrew/Chaldean and in the Quran in Arabic called the same Anas which has the same root meaning forgetful. They say it means people or mankind, yet, it means forget, amnesia this was done to them, it's called blind faith. So, in the end, they will themselves be offerings to their flesh-eating deities or Muziad Mutatalu extraterrestrials, however, they don't remember the reason they do what they do in religion these days. One son Enlil asked Ibruam Abraham to offer up his own son Isaac or Ishmael to be eaten Genesis 22. The other son Enki said don't cut your son up to be eaten Genesis 22:11-13. Both sons of the Most High God Anu as one God, so they use us, we as one or me for both of their orders. So Munwapu Nuwapians those who follow Abraham religions, Mosesism, Jesusism, and Mohammedism. Kings, Lord of Lords, they will come to as verse 18 of Revelations 19 says, that you may eat the flesh of kings, rulers and the flesh of captains leaders and the flesh of mighty men the sons of Elohim as Genesis 6:4-5. The offspring of Adamite women with Muziad Muthatal extraterrestrial giants and the flesh of horses, animals, and of them that sit on them. And the flesh of all men people both free Caucasoids and Bon Nagar you Negroids both small poor and great rich. So they have no clue what the adverse forces of 6 ether has planned for them with their unnatural ether energies. How they so freely offer themselves and souls to them for wealth or to be of the rich, who will also be eaten by their fake Antichrist who come with blood all over his white robe, a flesh eater who they think is their savior 1 John 4:2. They don't know what he will look like 1 John 4:12, yet, he will transform some into flesh eaters as he is 1 John 3:2. What is it all based on? John 6:54, Revelation 7:14-12 and 11 white blood based on a deal with Abraham, Hebrew 10:29, Mark 14:24 all about blood. Revelation 12:11, Isaiah 53:7. So being as he is, will be to be a lamb of slaughter. Lambs or sheep flock as calf Malachi 4:2 calves of a stall, the ruddy race John 4:34-35 my meat. Where is their Antichrist from John 8:23, what did he call those pretending to be Hebrew John 8:37-44, Revelation 2:9 and 3-9. They walk by faith not by sight so they can't zack or remember what is in store for them by not seeking the actual facts, just being handed a mistranslation of their history books. Munwapu Nuwapians your tickless salvation is in sound right reasoning. The proper and scientific name of sound right reason is indeed, no pu the tatmud creation, energy reason is intellect, intelligence, revelation, inspiration and best akal nama mind growth as you see in Arkatam Ramas at ancient symbols. The bowl, what is in it is known only by the one who enters is called a vase seen threefold in the name for primal waters. Noon, the triple darkness or secrets. Deity of personification from the energy threefold of the sky above. All from above into the deep and Maya water, 3 bowls for triple darkness, the 3 secret degrees, and gestation in the womb, 3 cycles or 9 months. And beside the bowl of Nu you see the Ramas symbol, U or W, ether symbol. The Ramas symbol of Wabar nappy hair or 9 ether, often seen facing the other way on the crown. You will also find Pu, the symbol of letter P as a stool of reed. A seat, throne and you find it in Pamadat the word. The 3 symbols are the stool, the Tatat bread of Ladad birth and the helix of life. The Renan name means opener, the one who opens the way, also found in the symbol for the word Napu. In addition, Nakush reason in the real creator and Sadak Hade true guide in Fatar nature and it is Katat al physical in the forms of its real Katatat bodies, Pa Re the sun, the true stars of this one universe. In other words, a visible Tatmud creation presupposes necessitates and requires a visible creator. Pata from none and the creator Nakash reason shows itself in the forms and persons of the visible physical mishmash son of this Wahoo Makwin universe of eternal all Saka Mul Fadar powerful nature, Amun Nabab Re Akak Pata, in the personage of Pa Nabab, Ya Anun, the secret behind the tone Napu. So Munwapu Nuwapians Utham overstanding is sound right reason, the Tatmud creation Nashit energy reasoning and all out telly genes out intelligence from Faj outside of this one Wahoo Makwin universe, down from above to you. Reason being the real creator and Sadak Hade true guide in Fatar al-Fatar natural nature and on into physical in the form of its real bodies, hydrogen, the son of true stars of this universe. In Fatar nature universe science, like the scientific information from the scientific outformation from outside this one universe and dimension, Sud is the word supernatural. This does not mean Bawad Shea somethings or Bawad's Waha someone with superpowers above and beyond the Fatar al-natural or Fatar nature because there is no such Shaka's person or thing as a Superman or Zaz's Tatu women only beings from other older star systems who know much more about the workings of Fatar U nature's elements and may appear to the unknowing to be superhuman. Nor does this mean they're wad good by nature and not dodge evil. Since nature be it Fatar al-Akak Nashit natural ether energy Kafi-ish positive in Fatar nature or unnatural ether energy, negative in nature. The supernature workings of nature is noon, space, time, and matter. The personifying of, or from primeval deep of which emerged the creator source of Mukwin being, Haya life. And means higher or highest power and Maga's magic of the Fatar al-natural or of Fatar nature, not something or someone above and beyond the natural rules of nature. So most who don't overstand but with an understanding use good as powerful and special as Kahan Mukwin supreme being or the German word gut to God or Hebrew El of Elohim and Arabic Ilah to Allah of Alihat. And most of them have no idea that these extraterrestrials was both males and females in their mistranslations of the grammar of their holy books for so long. All these are titles, not actual names. They describe their powers or what is called by them divine from Latin divus, from Latin diva female deity goddess, while divine means hallowed, able to foretell, or prognosticate give a prognosis on nature. The words God and or Yahweh or El or Allah as stated, are merely a title and not a name. However, if a person insists on using the titles for beings they have not seen or confirmed their attributes yet only by blind faith or belief. The etymological, that is original and true meaning of these words for God, God, is ghost. Because the word God is short for ghosthood, both females and male spirit forces in their religions. They say supernatural powerful being who has and or sends beings called angels, Milcom, Moloch, Melech, Malak who takes on human form making them the same fodder alakak nashat natural ether energy or unnatural ether energies. Therefore, when they say or use God, Allah, Yahweh, El Baal, Satan, Jinn, Shaitan, Dios, Theos, Lord, Angel, they must identify what exactly do they refer to, show and prove it wage it exists in some form or Shabanus likeness or it is only an illusion, fantasy, hallucination, mirage, or a stated ghost, spirit, specter, apparition which like gas or steam can take form to liquid and or ice. Or as you see light waves of Lawonic colors by way of electricity can take form on a screen or film TV and even into three-dimensional form or 3D so that which is one place sending out signals through the Hawaii air can be received at a receiving point and take on light form be seen and physical form be touched. Munwapu Nuwapi and Zakur remembering that some other star people who come to this planet are much older and far more advanced by millions of years. If you see what this Adam U Adamite, only 6,000 Shamatit years old have advanced to over the past 400 years, think of what the extraterrestrial visitors can do. These are what their holy Sefer books call God and in them in the original Lahaj language goddess which are left out in mistranslation, Asha U females and Iashu males of the Anunnaki. All of these are found in the original stone tablets which became their Kadash Sefer holy books and as they lost the original language of the stone tablets cuneiform of Babylon and the Mesopotamian lands and onto Akkadian, to Chaldean then into many dialects as the holy book Genesis chapter 11 they became Syriac, Aramaic, Phoenician, Hebrew, Arabic and on and on. The names changed just as you see the Chaldean man named Ibruam name changed to Abram then to Ibrahim then to Ibrahim. And his father's name also changed from Tirhu to Tyric then to Terah on to Terik then in Arabic holy book changed to Azar. So also in became Anu, and then Eliun then Elion then El Elyon the Most High then in Arabic it became Allahu El Aliyu. What is hidden from most is the fact that these beings are in fact mentioned in their holy books as both man and woman as well as having children, as you see above and can read in their holy book of Genesis chapter 6 the sons or children of Elohim gods and goddess. To have children you need both male and female with DNA the same to breed and if these goddess and gods called Anunnaki then Elohim then Alihat had children who came down to earth and had sexual intercourse with Adamite women and gave birth to children by them they had to have the same amount of chromosomes, to be able to breed. So their deities were both male and females who came to earth called angelic beings as you read in their holy book Genesis 18:1-8. Some call jinn had sex as you read in the Quran of Muslims Quran 55-56. These two groups of angelic beings were later called Seraphim angel and Cherubim jinn. Both had physical offspring on this planet, and were of both male and female. It is all about language Nuwapians, how they seek to hide the fact that both males and females were Elohim, Alihat, gods. First they want you to think there is only one deity in their holy books speaking and appearing to them. The Hebrew version of the Old Testament used the word, powerful ones, strong ones, gods, judges. However, they will put God in Genesis, and that Elohim means gods and include goddess. When you search as we Nuwapians do, you can find where they made mistakes and left Elohim as plurality, which means gods, play on grammar. Gods in English big letter small letter, which does not exist in Hebrew or Arabic. Now we will find a few of the mistakes left behind. 1 Samuel 28:13 you see, I saw gods ascending out of the earth gods Elohim coming out of the ground or earth, mighty gods. Also the word YHWH, Yahweh, can also be found as plural both males and females. So Yahweh can be used in the singular or plural and as masculine or feminine. In the Hebrew version some of the Yahwehs or Jehovah's mentioned include, Yahweh the Elohim of Israel, Adonai, masters, lords, also can be singular Adon. The Hebrew and Arabic are in fact the same tongue and both particularly in their literary form are very careful and intricately constructed. It is the translator who seek to hide what they know from the rest of the world about these gods, goddess, lord, lords, or king of kings, Yahweh of the Elohim, cherub of the cherubim. After all their scribes wrote by hand upon very expensive substance, very difficult to prepare so they saw the true meaning of each word. So as you read in their holy books it will say, and the Lord God said or did. This is one of them speaking about another of them. In the book of Genesis 7:1-4 that is a female speaking on behalf of Enlil, she is his granddaughter Inanna or Ishtar found in their holy books as Ashtaroth, Ashtoreth, a she god or Elohim, single L. Psalm 82:1-8. So when you read Genesis 7:1-4 you see the Hebrew word for one or oneim being used is, Hebrew Strong's number 595, Anohi, feminine and not Ani masculine. The deity who addressed Noah whose name really was Zeu Sudra changed to Nuach, Noah, Nu, but it was Ishtar who addressed him, which is clear by the grammar of gender. In Hebrew the word Anohi was used, whereas Ani would be the masculine form. She also was the one who spoke to Abraham in Genesis 15:1. Again you see Anohi, for I am a shield to thee. These deities, angelic beings, had children of their own. Read 1 Chronicles 21:18-20. You will read, and his 4 sons with him hiding. Who is this? Him, Yahweh, Jehovah, Jah. So this man saw the angel, and his 4 sons with him hiding themselves. Now you see Nuwapians why back in 1963 AD, I did not start out teaching Wunuap. They were just not ready for all the actual facts until now after 1970 AD, when I broke the spell little by little. And the book of Ezekiel is much to say about and to Adonai Yahweh. The meaning of Adonai in the Hebrew is my master, not one Lord, my own masters. And note sometime Yahweh did not come alone yet with his family members, as you read in 1 Chronicles 21:18-20, and you see their list of family given of the Anunnaki, or in the Bible as Anakim. Some humans were transformed into Elohim, as you read in Exodus 7:1. Moses became one of the Elohim. When you read the Lord God in Genesis 2:4 and 3:22, it really reads in Hebrew the Yahweh of the Elohim, the existing one of the powerful ones. Each Yahweh can become an El if he changed sides from Enki Yahweh to Enlil Baal. You see the use of La or El on the end of names in books such as Samuel, Nehemiah, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, Joel, Obadiah, and Zephaniah. The Els and the Jahs conflict of the gods or brothers for rule of earth and Adamite seed. They don't want you to know that in their holy books there is a conflict by 2 sides of the family of the Most High God Anu, and his sons, daughters, their children, and the race of Adamites they made from their own DNA, the Caucasu or Muckasu Salal Caucasoid race. And the Holy Quran of Arabs who are of Adamite seed, as you read in Quran 3:33, same seed of Abraham by his son Ishmael. Quran 2:130-136, and the Quran confirms that it comes from those stone tablets. Quran 85:21-22. So, it is the same extraterrestrials that came to them as all others of Adamite seed, and the conflict between 2 brothers who both say worship, serve me only, have no other beside or with me. The fight is on. And now their offspring world over are at war for power and who will rule all others. Political or religious, it is the same. I'm right, you're wrong. My God is greater than your God, and none of them even know what they call God, or deity, divine, supreme, supernatural, is nature. We Nuwapians overstand it as Nupu, Wunuap, and we speak Nawapuyi as Nuapu as Nagar you Salal Negroid race soul. The world soul, divine emotional powers that put all in motion and created as creators during the life cycle of nature or emanations of these dimensions, the deities of life and living according to the natural ether energies from our own ancestors. On the below side of creation is death and dying, the ghost gods and goddess called God. The world of spirits defined by their laws in our ancient time, we use the symbol to describe them as well. They are called Zupu, meaning bolt, lock, trapped. The world spirit and destroyer of life during the death cycle of unnatural nature or emanations of reflected light of the moon. You find in the secret symbolism of hieroglyphics the hidden meaning of this, as you see in the meaning of physical flesh or matter, that being man, Zazas, and woman, Zazas tat. And now look at the symbolism for mummy. The measurement of this symbol is length. The distance between a man's elbow and the tip of his extended middle finger was the royal cubic, 52.4 centimeters. In this is time and space in man's hands by the strength of his arms. How long will he live, and how long will he be locked, trapped in the spirit world or trapped here in the physical world as ghost? Zupu is the living dead. Those trapped in this dimension can't cross over, became unnatural ether energy, 6 ether beings who lost their soul or ride interdimensional worlds in this one universe. Nuwapians, you hear very little in anything about our own story and spiritual science of our ancient ancestors of Kamat or Tama-Re of predynastic times, or antiquity, which was long before and much prior to the advent of his story, the history of the race of Adamites called Adam and Eve, 6,000 years ago. Their spiritual science was Zoroastrianism, that is Zupu. Zupu from Zoroaster, also spelt Zarathustra of Mesopotamia's Persia, worship of hell's fire they called the earth spirit Zam, and their god of infinite time they called Zervan, who sacrifices for 1,000 years. This is the root of their religion and was passed on to Ibrahim by his father Hu, Tarak, Terah, Azar, yet most have no idea of the hidden meaning behind who and what they call God, Allah, Yahweh, Dios, Theos. So now, Nuwapians, you overstand by Nupu and you understood by Zupu. 9 ether or positive is called Nupu and 6 ether or the negative is called Zupu. These 2 worlds of soul and spirit who exist at opposite times are opposite eternal powers of natural ether unless poisoned, diseased to become unnatural ether. They include all spirit beings of nature, natural ether energies and unnatural ether energies. Their degree depends upon who of you or you Caucasoids accept the laws or rules of your natural nature, or do you substitute your original nature for others, that is replace Zupu for Nupu? And in the case of you Caucasoids, replace Zupu for Nupu. This depends upon where in the cycle of time all exist, of order. Everything is on the cycles of time. You have entered the last 6,000 years of this 24,000 year cycle at 2000 AD, the end of the 6,000 years from 4000 BC, the Adamic cycle called Adam's calendar AC. So know this, natural ether is natural electricity and ethereal electricity, which is life, spirit and mind energy. The rule of is, the nature of is, the purpose of is, and the purpose of natural ether is the spark of natural life and mind energy. You are the reason all exist. You are the purpose all exist. You are the original being. You are the supreme being. Remember, no faith will ever change one's fate, truth is truth, facts are facts.